Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. As you can see, I'm filming from a remote location, for lack of better terms. I'm doing some dog sitting this week, so um, hopefully the sound and all is good. Just, as always, give me a shout out. Let me know you're watching. Type in the comments, hey, where you're watching from, and all that good stuff. I hope everybody's had a pleasant week. I hope all my friends and family and fellow dog lovers up and down from the path of Ida are doing well and are safe. First and foremost, our thoughts and prayers are with all of them. Good morning, Cindy. How do you make out with the storm? I forgot to reach out to you. So I just hope everybody's doing really well up, in the path of that. And, you're in our thoughts and prayers here at Back to Basics. And let's just jump into it. So I know in the last few weeks we talked about storm preparedness. If you guys want me to reiterate that, good morning from a parking lot in Florida. Wow. Hope you had a good road trip. You're going to go see your favorite Disney and stuff. But I do want to talk about something I read this morning actually on Facebook before I went live. I'm browsing through Facebook, looking at different things people are asking online, different questions that I think could be relative to you guys. So one of the things I saw on Facebook this morning is they all start out the same. The problem when people have issues with the dogs, they all start out the same, guys. My dog is good, great with obedience, however, or but, or whatever, and then there's issues. So the first thing I want to stress to people is there is a huge, huge difference in the world of obedience and behavior. Obedience is really, really important. I'm not saying it's not. It's real, real important. Good morning, Lisa from Cottonwood, Arizona. Well, welcome. And again, guys, if you guys have questions, even though I'm going through my intro talk, pop the questions in there because it's real important because I'm here to help you guys, not just talk for the sake of talking. So, people, I see it constantly. My dog is good, but my dog is good. However, my dog is obedient, but we're having these issues. And they get very confused. They take them to the big box stores for doing, the puppies to the big box stores to do basic obedience training. And it is important to do basic obedience training. But what they never, ever talk about in any of the classes that I've ever watched, participated in, Googled, YouTubed, or whatever, is going after the state of mind of the dog. And I talk about it week in, week out. A calm state of mind is a better state of mind. If your dog is not calm or can't learn how to control its own excitement, you're going to have issues on your walk. You're going to have issues when you have guests come over. You're going to have issues with counter surfing. You're going to have issues with dogs jumping all over the furniture, whatever it may be. Or you have kids and the kids are running around, the dogs are nipping at the heels. That's all because we don't take the time to teach our dogs how to get to a calmer state of mind. So it's real, real important that people understand that there is a huge, huge difference between obedience and behavior. Behavior is the state of mind that you want your dog to be in at any given time. And since Donna's on here, we'll talk about Stark with that. Stark, when we first started working with Stark, was an overly excited dog. Very good dog. For the most part, had its basic obedience down, but there were still issues with Stark. And most of those issues came from overexcitement, where when he played, dogs play with their mouth, guys. That's reality. That's how they play with each other. They play with their mouths. And if we don't establish that sense of calm with them, they're going to play with us that way. And they're going to bite us and nip us and do all the stuff that people can't stand. And it becomes a major, major problem. Again, there is no statistics that I can find or that I've even bothered doing the research on, to be honest with you. But from my experience in doing this for all these years, I'm trying to adjust the light a little bit, guys. Let me know how the lighting is because I don't have my normal setup here. Let me know if it's good. Good morning, Michelle, Robin, Athena. How things going there? How'd you guys make out with the storm? Um, by going after the state of mind, I'm teaching Stark when it was okay to play, how hard he was allowed to play. I taught Donna, Rich, and the family how to look at these levels of excitement and control it, and don't let it get past a certain point, because it got Stark in trouble. And Stark was in another house before them, and it was misinterpreted as aggression. And like I was saying, I haven't done the research, and maybe I should, but again, from my experience, most of the dogs that end up going back to a shelter, going back to rescue groups, going back, is overexcitement. Overexcitement is very detrimental to a dog, because not for the dog's sake, but because the dog is overexcited. It's how we correct the excitement. And I know you guys have heard me talk about this before. We correct the excitement because once they bite and it's a little too hard, good morning, Jenna. We get angry at the dog. We get frustrated with the dog. Why are you biting me? And all this nonsense. And we actually can turn that dog that's an overexcited, happy-go-lucky goofball into an aggressive dog, because that's what they're being taught by us. If you ever watch dogs play, when the play gets too rough, yes, you may hear ground, you may see a nip in the air, you may even see a nip on the dog, but it's not done with anger. It's, hey, you're playing too rough, cut it out. But we don't understand that. We can't follow what the dogs are actually teaching us. And it's real important for your dog's well-being to teach them. The post I saw this morning on Facebook is the dog is obedient, but can't have guests come in because it jumps all over him. It counter surfs. It does this. It does that. And she's worried that the dog is going to counter surf and grab something that it shouldn't grab, jump on somebody and hurt somebody, an elderly person, a kid, whatever it may be. It's such a snowball, but we have to take the time to teach them. You're not going to learn that behavior. And this is a knock on anybody in those big box store group classes. You're not. So you have to take the time. And I know I keep promising to put out videos there, guys. I got to get my studio set up better. I've recorded some stuff and I just don't like the quality of it. So I'm playing with different lighting and sound quality. So when I present the videos, they're going to be in a good quality for you guys not to have to strain your eyes to see them or strain your hearing to hear me. We are working on it. I'm hoping to have some of those things resolved this week, because I want to put out a video on the storm preparedness. I want to talk about overexcitement a lot more in a video format on my YouTube channel. So if you're on here and you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please make sure you do. It's Back to Basics Dog Training. Just hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell next to it so you get notified whenever I put up a new video or whatever it is I'm doing. So we're going to talk about a lot of overexcitement today. And I'm going to use my granddog that I happen to be babysitting for to teach you how bad this overexcitement could be. My granddog Brody, love him to death. He's a great goofball. He's a red-nosed pit bull. Good morning, Evan. I'm going to say your name wrong, so I'm not even going to try. Where are you watching from? So Brody is a great dog. For the most part, he's the biggest couch potato mush you'll ever want to meet. His excitement over water, and that Massachusetts, how'd you guys make out with the storm? I don't know if you even went up that high. It's not just he sees a pool, he goes crazy, or goes to a lake and goes crazy. When he sees or hears a sprinkler or sees that fountain of water, somebody watering their lawn, whatever it may be, he gets bat crap crazy. And I've talked to the kids on this. I don't think it's healthy because he goes to bite the water and all that. And it's just not good. So what happened is, I came here the other day to watch my grand dogs because kids are away. And they just had new sod put in their backyard, and I was checking it out. I know the neighbor had new sod put in his yard, so I was looking, and they were out there, so I went to go talk to them. But the sprinkler's wrong because it's new sod. And Brody decided, oh my God, I got to get the sprinklers. Ran past me, basically clipped me. If we were playing football, he would have got a 15-yard personal foul penalty, and bolted to that sprinkler, even though I told him to stay because he's an obedient dog. He normally listens. But that overexcitement from the water, because everybody thought it was so freaking cute, created a different dog than what I'm used to seeing. Now, shame on me. I should have been a little bit more diligent on it, knowing he had this. I dropped my guard, and this is what I keep telling people. It's 24/7 what we do. Um, and all I can think about with Brody's excitement and what went through my mind is that I can stop him from getting in the water. I kinked the hose. I told him to get his butt back inside. No problem. We made it. Everything was good. But all I kept going back through, that's me, the 6'5", 230-pound guy. Didn't go off my feet, but it hurt my leg when he clipped me. What happens if Brody was in a house with somebody who is more fragile or a younger child or whatever, and he did the same thing? That person's going to get hurt. And why? Because in the beginning, everybody thought it was so freaking cute how he went after the water and he tried to eat the water. Yeah. And it isn't cute. One, guys, it can cause water asphyxiation because they're biting, they're breathing in water. It's not a good thing. But that's neither here nor there. So I took it as my personal goal this week to work with him on that. I'm going to turn the sprinklers on because we're not going to avoid this anymore. I'm going to turn the sprinklers on, and he has to learn that those sprinklers, that noise or whatever the noise is that he hears, represents calm. Because, if my wife was walking him and the neighbor's sprinklers were on, he may drag her to the ground. That's unacceptable to me. So we're going to work on it. Don't know if my kids are going to be happy with me or not, but I'm going to work on it because it's better for Brody. It's a better state of mind for him. Not going to discourage him from going swimming in a pool or a lake or something, but I am going to discourage him from biting at this spraying water. And he's an obedient dog. Guys, he's a very obedient dog. He 99.9% of the times listens to everything we say until that situation comes over. And then he becomes a different dog. He's not aggressive. He's not going to do anything, but he won't listen to us for anything at that point. I mean, I told him, stop, stay, whatever. And he just made a beeline for that sprinkler and started trying to bite the water until I kinked the hose. And then he realized, oh, crap, I made a mistake. It didn't have to say, and inside. And he went inside. Once he was inside, I turned the sprinkler back on. But it's his overexcitement. Could have got him indirectly in trouble if it was somebody who wasn't 6'5", 230. Because he literally took my leg out from underneath me. So we got to start working on it. And it's the same thing when our guests come in our home. Somebody rings the doorbell, somebody knocks on the door. We get up, we answer the door. The dog is showing you, I am excited. I want to see my prize behind the door. Monty, what's behind door number 1? And the dog's going absolutely crazy. And you open the door. You're telling your dog, hey, you're excited. I'm going to give you your prize. Sorry, I got a pop-up on my screen. That was weird. The dog is telling you, I'm excited. I want my prize behind the door. And if you open that door, you're rewarding that state of mind constantly. So yeah, the dog's not going to understand the boundaries that, hey, when somebody comes in, you got to give them their space. The dog's not going to understand that it's not okay to jump on people. It's okay to do this because you're telling them, knock, 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 woof, 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 open the door, yay. So what you got to do is take your time to teach them a better way of doing it. How do you do that? You set them up for success. You have somebody knock on the door, ring the doorbell, a guest, a family member, a relative, a friend, whatever it is. And you explain to them, hey, it may take me a while to let you guys in, but I need to work on this for the dog so you can come in and be more comfortable in my house. How many of you people out there that are watching now or later on in the replay, if you're watching, you can answer this question too. Have or had a dog that was so overly excited you really didn't invite people over because it was not worth the stress? That's ridiculous. So what you got to do is have somebody come ring the doorbell, put your dog on a leash, and disagree with the excitement at that point. They can be part of it. Don't put them in a room. Don't put them in a crate. Don't segregate them. Let them be part of it. Let them learn how to be part of it in a better state of mind. You guys hear me talk about it. We always reward a zero state of calm. Always reward the zero state of calm. So if my dog is calm in a stimulated situation, that's when I'm going to praise them. I'm going to treat them. I'm going to make them feel like they're the best thing in the world because I want to reinforce that state of mind. But if at any point they break that zero state of calm, we start over. We regroup. I do this a lot with dogs that are reactive on leashes. Overexcitement, it could be aggressive, it does make a difference towards other dogs. So one, I'll take them to an area where there's dogs. And it's real important to do that because you need the stimulus. And I may go to a dog park. But it doesn't mean I'm going to go into the dog park with this dog. I will take the dog. I park in the parking lot. The dog has to come out of the car at zero state of calm because I got to start the process of calm somewhere. And I don't want to start it when the mind's already here. I'd rather start it when I have a lot more control. So when I get to a dog park, I'll take the dog out of the car only if they're at a zero state of calm. If they fool me that they're calm and they jump out of the car at 700 miles an hour, I put their butts back in the car and we start the process all over again. And then each step on the way from my car to the fenced area of the dog park, I'm watching the dog's state of mind. If at any time I think it's not that zero level state of calm, I stop the process. And we don't move forward to get to what the dog wants until I get what I want, which is calm. And then we may just hang out outside the gate of the dog park, whatever. I don't know. It all depends on how I feel at that moment, what I'm reading from the dog I'm with, what I'm reading from the dogs in the dog park. Because sometimes the dogs in the dog park are the problem, not the dog I'm with. My dog is just reacting to what the energy is in the dog park, but that's a whole nother thing we got to talk about. So when I've done this before is when the dog's at a zero state of mind calm, and I believe it is, then I go into start the process of going into the dog park. And these are dogs that people have told me do not like other dogs. But the state of mind is easier to control when it's lower. People try to control the dogs, and we've talked about this on past lives. Once the explosion happens, then we're trying to stop it. You can't. It's too hard, guys. Don't even try. Don't waste your time. So if my dog is in the right state of mind, I will go into the dog park, the first area where I can take off the leash and start giving it the freedom. But I'm not going to open up that second gate if the state of mind isn't where I want it. And if they get too excited at that point, I put the leash back on, we go back out, and we start over. And I do this a million times. And then once I bring the dog into the dog park, now we mastered this, we're going to the next step. Dog's off leash, I'm watching the dogs. And people have to learn this when they're in dog parks. Watch your dogs, watch the other dogs, but your focus should be on your dog. And at any time, I don't like that state of mind. If I think it's getting a little too high, even playing with another dog and I just think they're getting too excited, I stop everything and I bring the dog out and we regroup, go back to zero state of mind, praise, go back to what we were doing. This way they're learning a better way to do things and how to be social. Remember, guys, the dog park's not for exercise, it's for socialization. But who wants to play on a playground with the kid that just runs in front of you and jumps on the monkey bars before you can? Nobody wants to be in that park with that kid. Why would I want a dog in a dog park that is bum rushing and bull rushing every dog in there because it wants to be the center of attention? No, we're going to teach it a different way to do it, but it takes time and it takes patience. And if the more you do it, you'll see quicker results. And I've done it with some dogs where I take them to the dog park, and that first day I don't even go into the dog park because I couldn't get to where I needed to be to make sure the dog I'm working with is safe and make sure the other dogs are safe. Because don't forget, if your dog goes into a dog park with a high energy state of mind, it could be a target for another dog because they're going to say, we don't like this state of mind. And if a dog targets it and wants to correct it, it gets a lot uglier than you and I correcting it. So it's just a matter of reading what your dog is telling you. I'm overly excited because you have guests coming over. Well, then we can't let our guests in until you're in a calmer state of mind. My dog gets excited when I'm preparing meals and I'm putting food out or whatever. Well, guess what? You got to tell your dog that has to represent calm. I tell people all the time, dogs shouldn't be in the kitchen when you're cooking. Shouldn't be. You're setting up your dogs for disaster by doing that because food is a primitive thing. We know it is. It's survival. And that's when a dog can be the happy-go-lucky goofball that all of a sudden you drop a piece of steak or chicken bone on the floor. You go for it. They go for it. They get it. Now you're fighting with your dog to get the chicken bone out because you know how dangerous it is. They don't look at it that way. So my theory is if I'm in the kitchen cooking, why would I want my dog in there? Because I'm not the neatest cook. I chop things up. Things fall on the floor. There's certain things I know my dog can't eat. I don't want him in there. And then I'll clean up. My dog's not my vacuum cleaner. Doesn't need to clean up after me. But we tend to think, oh, look, they like being with us. No, they want the food. Guys, stop with the flattery. Most of the time they want the food. And if you set the precedent, especially from puppies, no, you're not allowed in here. Out. Go to your place. Whatever you're going to use, it makes it safer for them. And if you start doing this, if your dog is older or even started as a puppy, counter surfing is a non-issue because they're not allowed in there when there's food out. But how do you fix counter surfing? Because that's going to be the next question. So how do you fix counter surfing? You set the dogs up for success. You put things on the counter that you know are dog safe, and you watch. Set up a nanny cam system, whatever it is, and you watch what they do. If they go in there, because they very rarely do it in front of us, you watching on your, set up your iPhone, set up your iPad or your Samsung thingy, and set it up as a nanny cam system. Get a nanny cam, get the app, whatever, and you watch them. And as soon as you start seeing them approach the counter, you start watching. Curiosity, we never stop, guys. But if you see that nose going too close, like they're ready to go in, you come back and no, whoa, you weren't even here and you knew I was doing that. And you do it enough times, and then when you see them just in the camera, walking past the counter, okay, there's food up there, but I know I'm not allowed to do it. You can praise them because their state of mind is better and they did good. But you got to remember, you can't do any of these things with a dog that's not calm. How many of you guys that are watching now have a hard time controlling your dog's overexcitement? And how frustrated do you get when you're trying to? Why I ask that question is because I know too many people that have that. And it's not the dog's fault, but we'll blame the dog because we as the humans, on that 0 to 10 scale, won't try to correct the dog until they're at a 6 or 7. It's too hard. The dog gets too confused. It's too hard physically and mentally on the human. It's easy to control things at 0 calm or a 1 calm or a 2 calm than it is at a 7. But if you start off excited, I don't know if Donna's still watching because she said she was in a parking lot in Florida. They worked very hard with Stark on threshold management. Going out the door to go for our walk or going out the door to go into the backyard. They made that threshold represent calm because with him and every dog that I ever met, if they start off the process of going out through that front door overly excited, your whole walk is overly excited. The same thing with the back door, going out into a fenced-in yard. If they're going out through that back door overly excited, they're running around the yard like lunatics, and you're trying to control them, and they're not listening to you, and you don't understand why they're not listening to you. They're not listening to you because their mind is somewhere else. You're not relevant. I want my dog lovers to be relevant in their dog's world. But you have to take the time to do it. And it's not overnight successes. It's not quick fixes. I've had people question, ask, get in touch with me because they're interested in dog. Well, how long is this going to take? And I'm like, I have no freaking clue. Well, can we do it in X amount of time? I have no idea. If you put a timestamp on it, you're setting yourself and your dog up for failure. It's process. Every dog's an individual. Every dog learns at its own pace. You take your time and you do it, and you stay consistent day in, day out. I remember Michelle reminding me, with Athena reminding me a lot of times when I do these things, talk about the consistency. Stay consistent. It's day in, day out. And everybody in the family who is involved with the dog has to do the same things. It's not fair to the dog if we send mixed singles. So we're talking family, but I live in a house with a bunch of people. They're roommates, maybe friends, whatever. And I bring a dog in. I'm going to ask anybody if I move into a house that has roommates, hey, listen, you guys want to interact with my dog, you have to do things my way every single time. And that's fair to ask. But everybody has to do it. It's not fair to the dog if mom is, no, you're not allowed on the furniture. We have to go for good walks. You're not allowed to pull me on the walk. You're not allowed to be anything but this calm state of mind. And dad says, well, you want to go on the couch, go on the couch. You want to pull me, I'm strong enough, I can handle you. Well, think about what we're doing to the dogs. I mean, it's just so confusing, guys, and I hear this all the time. So the consistency, not only in doing the same process day in, day out until it becomes muscle memory in the dog, it's consistency within the pack of everybody doing the same thing. So, guys, if this makes sense, shoot me a comment. Let me know if this makes sense. I got a couple of new listeners that I've seen out there, viewers. I don't know, viewers is the right word, I guess. Let me know, if this is valuable information for you, because this is a passion of mine. And it's not about the training tools. It's not about what is the best leash or harness. Oh, cool. Michelle says, Athena stopped the nighttime zoomy behavior. I put the e-collar and leash on her and made her come back to bed. Didn't need to use the e-collar, just her in the line by wearing. Perfect. It's perfect. People ask me about this all the time. And let's talk about the e-collar. Yes, I do e-collar conditioning with dogs, and it is e-collar conditioning. It is not to shock the dog or hurt. Like I always say, guys, anytime I talk about disciplining the dog with a leash, a collar, an e-collar, a noise, or whatever, when I talk discipline about a dog, it's never to hurt or scare the dog. Keep that in mind. So if I'm going to use a tool, it's not going to hurt or scare the dog, because that's the last thing I want. I always say I never wanted my kids to listen to me out of fear. I wanted my kids to listen to me out of respect. And I want the dogs to respect me that way too and listen to me. But sometimes tools are needed to bridge a gap. So in Athena's case, we needed the e-collar to bridge a gap to help Michelle and Rob. And people turn around to me, and a few people have told me this. We did the training and the dog is being real good. Now we notice we put the collar on it and she just behaves. Yeah, perfect. Yay, we did our job. And the reason I say that is that collar became their job, their uniform. They realize when I have this thing on, I have to be in a different state of mind. And I say it's no different than when I worked for corporate America. When I went to work, I was in a suit and tie. I was not the same goofball you see on camera today. It was a different job. I put my uniform on. I needed to respect my fellow workers, so I acted differently because that's what I was supposed to do, because I was on a job. It was my job. So when I put these collars on the dog, it's a job for them. That's what we want them to understand. It's no different than when we put a vest on a service dog. Let's use a bomb sniffing dog, because that's the best way people can understand it. When a police officer has a dog that's a bomb sniffing dog or a drug sniffing dog or whatever it is, I'm not talking about the dogs that go in there and get burglars out by grabbing them by the arm and dragging them around. I'm talking about dogs that have a purpose different than physical contact with a human. So the dog that's a bomb sniffing dog or a drug sniffing dog, while it has its vest on, it's working. It's not supposed to go over to people and greet people. It's not supposed to. It's trained not to. Yes, if it's a drug sniffing dog, or if the handler tells it, go smell that person's shoes, it's going to. But that's not going over to be pet. You take that vest off that dog changes its behavior because that vest is its uniform. The same thing with the e-collar, and that's what Michelle's saying. She didn't need to use the e-collar just because the e-collar was on. Dog's like, oh, different state of mind, different behavior. Oh, you told me to go back to bed. I should go back to bed. Beautiful. Beautiful. That is a win-win for everybody involved. So that is phenomenal, Michelle. Thank you for letting me know that. And it's really important for people to understand that the tools are the tools to help you do something. It's not the end all, be all, everything all. It's to help you achieve what you need to achieve. And if used properly, tools should never, ever hurt your dog. And it's also understanding. Yes, you can buy on Amazon a $49.99 e-collar. There's e-collars out there for $200-$300. There is a huge difference when you see the price disparity, and there's a reason. I'm not going to get into the details of the different brands of e-collars and all that in this platform. Same thing if you use prong collar. The prong collars, Petco sells them. I wouldn't buy one. I wouldn't put one on my dog no matter what. Just wouldn't. They're horrible. I bought them. They have some sharp edges. I don't want things on my dogs with sharp edges that can cut or scratch them. The quality control on those is not the same. There's a reason why the collars that I buy cost $25, $30, $40, $50, depending on where I get them from, compared to the ones at Petco that I can buy for $14.99. There's a reason. So if you're interested in tools, always do your research, do it right, check with a qualified trainer. There's certain tools I don't think should be sold on Amazon and in big box stores. That's just my opinion. But again, you don't be shy about the tools, but always check with a qualified professional, guys. Be it me or be it another qualified trainer, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. The lady that posted on Facebook today about her dog being overly excited, jumping on gas counter surfing, and a stimulus type of collar may be the right answer. It's not my first answer, but it may make it easier for them. And the same way I always say, there are tools out there. If you know your dog is reactive to other dogs, and you're in a controlled environment, there's nothing wrong with putting your dog on a muzzle, and it's not for your dog, it's for you, because that tool actually helps people relax and calm down, because if muzzle on the dog, I don't have to worry about the dog biting anybody or anything. And your dog reads the from you. Oh my God, that's how you want me to behave. That's easy enough. I don't need this stupid thing, but you need it to make you relax, to trust your dog. Because remember, if you don't trust your dog's not going to trust you. And if you don't trust your dog is going to have unwanted behaviors. So again, I hope all this makes sense, guys. I'm not seeing a lot of questions today, but that's okay. I'll just keep rambling. Actually, we're at the half-hour mark, so if there's no other questions, we're going to wrap it up. But as long as there's questions, I'm going to answer them. We still leave the collar on her to take her outside, but it's for her own protection, to keep her from jumping over the fence. Absolutely. It's used to be for our protection, to just keep her from jumping on us. Right. You're using the tool for multiple things. Athena had to learn that it was unacceptable to jump on you and Rob, because the way she jumped on, when I was there and I saw her jump on Rob, was not playful. It was a controlling jump. I want to go inside now. I'm jumping on your back. I'm going to grab you by the scruff, and I'm going to make you come inside, because that's what I want to do. She did it when I was there. I used the e-collar. She only tried it the one time when I was there. After that, she was like, oh, I'm not doing this crap no more. Because it gave her a different stim, but it wasn't a high stim. It was a no-nonsense. No. And it was that quick, guys. Anybody who uses for discipline an e-collar, a remote collar, whatever you want to call it, and holds the button down is using it wrong. Because remember, guys, when you discipline the dog, in the dog's world, discipline is that quick every single time. Every single time. Watch another dog correct another dog. It's just boom. She's gotten a lot better, but took patience, consistency, and a long time. Right. Athena's a strong-willed dog. She's that's who she is. That's her personality. She's going to test the boundaries with you guys. And we talked about this a long time ago. The more consistent, the patience, and your energy stays in that you staying calm no matter what she's doing, it works. It's a labor of love. There is no quick fix. There is no bandage that fixes open heart surgery. You can't just put a bandage on that cut. You need to do it right, and you need to take the time to do it right, and you need to let things heal, and you need to go through a process. It's a whole thing. It's no different than anybody who's ever had surgery. You have surgery, you got to go through physical therapy. You have surgery, you're not miraculously cured. There's therapy usually involved with most physical, certain type of surgeries. So why would you expect? Well, I put an e-collar on my dog, or I put this on my dog, or I did this with my dog, and it doesn't get it. What'd you do? An hour ago? Come on. And I've had that. I had that with one of my first customers when I moved down here. She expected a miracle cure for an overly excited 80-pound dog. And the dog did phenomenal when I was there, but that just shows you the dog you have. It's when you see it happening and you have that aha moment, as Oprah would say, that's when you buy into the system and you see that calmer energy fixes everything. I keep saying, and I'll put it back up here instead of my name, that this, energy is the most important. I always get this wrong. Energy is the most important form of communication we have with our animals. The more you control your energy and you stay calm and you know what you're doing, you have confidence in what you're doing, your dog changes. That's why when I work with these dogs, they get it. Because I'm trusting every single dog I meet from day one. Doesn't matter. I'm trusting them until they show me otherwise. And if they show me otherwise, okay, you made a mistake. Let me teach you how to change it. That's all. I don't overthink it. Thinking gets in the way. I don't ask the question why. Why is the dog doing this? I don't give a crap. Again, I don't care why. I just want to fix it and show them a better way to do things. The more I take the time to show them how to do things, the better they are, the happier I am, the happier my clients are. It's a snowball effect. But it starts with you and your energy. And always remember, reward the calm. I don't care if it's an 8-week-old puppy that gets excited. If you're not ready for that excitement at the time, you disagree, praise, and when it's calm, praise it. And then if you want to initiate the play, you initiate the play. But when does the play get initiated? When they're at zero state of calm. Not sleeping, but they're calm. I'll initiate the play. When I decide play is over, I bring them all the way back down to calm. It works, guys. Those namaste moments are the best things in the world. It works. It changes your dog's behavior just because you can stay calm and you can trust your dog to do what you want to do. Visualize the outcome you want. If you have a dog that you know is leash reactive and you see another dog coming, don't think about the reaction. Think about what you want to accomplish. I want to get from point A to point B. I want to pass this dog and I don't want a reaction. You're going to change your energy. Don't wrapping the leash around your hand. Don't get tense. Take the deep breath and go for vision. Go for that goal. Become, competitive. So it works, guys. I'm telling you. I'll preach this again. If anybody needs clarification on any of this stuff, remember you can always reach out to me on this Facebook platform, be it mine, Michelle's, whichever ones I'm on here. You can always call me or text me at 631-514-9128. And for the people that were watching that were from out of the South Carolina area, because we saw somebody from Massachusetts, we saw somebody from Arizona. We can also do Zoom sessions, guys. Zoom sessions are very informative from what the Zoom sessions we do. It's usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours on the Zoom because it's a lot of us just talking and really understanding dog psychology. And it's a very affordable way to do dog training. Saves you guys a ton of money. I don't know about you, but I work hard for my money. So anytime I can help you save some money, I'm going to do it. Hence why I offer this free platform of doing the live Q&A every Saturday. The only thing I ask in return is to share this with your fellow, share my Facebook page. Let your friends, family around the country, around the world know that, hey, this guy here is offering free dog training sessions every Saturday morning. Get it out to the people. Help me out, guys. I want to see those numbers in the upper corner explode one day. I want to see 4-digit numbers. I would love that. It would just make my freaking day. because it's all about what I constantly talk about. And I do honestly believe it. I just can't find what I'm looking for. And it's this. Together we can help one dog and one family at a time. And guys, I do believe we can. And that's all of us dog lovers, all of us people that really love the animals coming together. I'm giving you guys a platform to help you. Share it. That's all I ask in return. So with that being said, if there's no other questions or comments for this week, I'm going to wrap this up. As always, thank you for inviting me into your home each and every Saturday morning. I really do appreciate it. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to do this. As always, stay healthy, stay safe. God bless. And remember, guys, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next Saturday.